Hey, what's up, y'all? Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Morning Scone. Hope y'all are having a good morning so far. We're presented, of course, by Boudreaux's, the Bloody Mary mix, the Margarita mix. Glad to have you part of the day with us here to start your day. Many of you will be happy to know that Drew is already awake and should be coming in shortly. And in one of the more remarkable occurrences of his young life, he managed to produce the most amount of urine that I've ever seen someone that size produce. Doing so overnight, and when I got him out of his bed, it was just like he was like a blob of pee. So it was quite impressive and a really nice way for me to start day 3 of my vacation with a child just saturated in urine. Adventures in dad life. Anyway, good morning, Nick. Good morning, Stephen, Val, Bobby, Mike Sylvester. Good morning. Appreciate all y'all for being here. Joey Painich, good morning. Appreciate y'all for watching us. I'm gonna hit the share button. I always encourage you to do the same thing. That helps. Just Facebook changed their algorithm. You probably heard about it. It's really hard to show up on people's timelines now unless if a video is or any post is shared. So all the things, you hit the like button, you comment, you hit the share. That's all very helpful. So a couple things we want to talk about. LSU lost the 2019 recruiting class, which they've just been on fire. They lost I lost a commit yesterday. Ed Orgeron was on AFR, which is fantastic. And while I was out, and Team USA, the collegiate national team that has 3 LSU baseball Tigers on it, they won in Cuba yesterday. So we'll talk about all that. UCBO, good morning, man. Sean Pumphrey, James Dean, Jordan Bird. Good morning, everybody. Oh, by the way, Cody Worsham is watching. Cody will be hosting AFR today. And I saw Cody is going to have Rachel Baribeau on the show as well. She spoke to the LSU football and basketball teams yesterday. So y'all check out Cody today from 3 to 6. And if you don't follow him on Twitter and all social media, you should, because he's really, really good. And thank you, Cody, by the way. Jordy Bird. How about this without the shoot? Matt, not going to lie. AFR without you or Terrio really blows. Well, you had Terrio on Monday, and you'll have him again on Friday. So I think he's trying to put together like a baseball show on Friday, which should be fun. Let's get a lot of his former teammates and all. But I'll put it to you this way, Jordy. It's just a familiarity thing. Like every host brings their own unique style that's truly unique to them and their way of approaching a show, and it's just different. Like if you listen to me on AFR for 8 years, you just become used to my style of doing a show, and then someone does it and they do it differently. It doesn't mean that it's good or bad or different. It's just different. That's all. So, but I appreciate everybody. I appreciate Gordy for sitting in yesterday. Appreciate Hanny and Terrio for filling in on Monday. As I mentioned, Cody today. Thursday, off the bench guys, Jordy and T-Bob are going to do Thursday, and then Terrio's back on Friday as well. So I just appreciate everybody. I mean, it's hard to take a vacation if you have someone to fill the show. And a good point, Nick Turine, I mentioned that Drew woke up and was covered in just a massive amount of urine. He said, much better being covered from the other end, which is true and great. See, that's what perspective is key in life. Life is all about perspective. You could be upset that your kid just had the most massive amount of pee while he slept, and now it's all over me. Or you can be grateful that it's not poop, and I am. So thank you. Colby, good morning. Robert Stack, good morning. Bob Kubrick, good morning. I'll be back. Hey, Bob, by the way, I'll be back on AFR Monday from Atlanta at SEC Football Media Day. So I'm pretty jacked about it, man. So we will have, and by the way, Ed Orgeron and LSU takes their turn on Monday at Media Day. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, AFR from Atlanta at SEC Football Media Days. And I'm excited about it, too. Big block. Hey, bud. Hey, come see. Your tube's in the... Come here. Wow. Come see. Dad needs to fix your tube. Hang on. There we go. That's better. And get that caught on the door. What are we doing? Are we saying good morning to everybody?
Papa.
Big block. Clap hands for Big Block comes home.
Elmo.
Clap hands for Elmo comes home.
Elmo.
Clap hands for Laurel comes home. Laurel brings kisses for Jubilant. Okay, go watch your show.
Papa.
We're going to talk to everybody here. Talk some stuff.
Mom.
Okay, you come check on us later. Make sure we're doing a good job. Justin, my boy in the morning with Scone. Boom. I guess that's what that is. Appreciate you for watching, Justin. Brant, good morning. Micah, good morning. Lane, any chance to get you on in Lafayette? Lance, I'm sorry. Lance, I think I might have mentioned this yesterday on the show. My goal is to be in every market in the state. And a lot of that's just finding the right time and the right opportunity and being patient. But I'd love to be in Lafayette. I'd love to be in Lake Charles, Shreveport, Bossier, Alexandria. Yeah, so it's a goal, and it's something that we're always aware of. Finding that right relationship and opportunity. But big block. Pete. You like Pete? Walk? Okay, well, you can go walk in the other room and watch Pete. Okay. Good job. But as for now, Lance, on 98.1 HD2, you can catch us in Lafayette, so I hope you tune in there. Charlie said the word commit is joke. So, for those that missed it, 3-star linebacker Zach Edwards out of Starkville, Mississippi has decommitted from LSU. I'd also hope you understand that sometimes decommitments aren't solely the doing of the player. Now, I don't know in this case in particular if Zach Edwards just looked around and said, okay, well, it's not hard to see, right? So LSU, since Edwards committed back in March, they've gotten commitments from Kendall McCallum out of Alabama. He was the one that committed among that slew of like 6 guys in 6 days. And then, of course, last week they got the commit of Dante Starks from John Ehret in New Orleans, who's, a top 50 player nationally. So if you're Edwards, you look around and you go, okay, well, they took 2 more guys at my position. They signed 3 at that position last year. Like, it's a crowded room. He's got offers from other SEC schools like Ole Miss and Mississippi State, and someone else had a big school he had an offer from. I think A&M offered him. Let me check. Yeah, Texas A&M. So he can look around and go, okay, was there a better place for me to fit? And the other part of that too is maybe the LSU coach. And I don't know. I do not know this with in particular, or specifically. But there's times when a coach may say, look, we may not have a spot for you now. Like that happens. I mean, it normally happens closer to signing day, where coaches just tell guys, sorry, we thought we had a spot, we don't have a spot. And there's been a lot of high-profile cases like that in the past. Remember Elliott Porter was coming out of Shaw, and LSU asked him to he was committed, had a spot. They asked him the gray shirt. He said no, went to Kentucky, hated it, transferred back to LSU, paid his way for a year, and was on scholarship. There was a kid who was a defensive tackle. What was that kid's name? Defensive tackle from Denham Springs, maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. He was like the first commit in LSU's class. And then like the week before signing day, they pulled his scholarship offer, and he was scrambling to find a place to play. And ultimately ended up at TCU. What's the kid's name was with a T? God, no, one of you will post it. But anyway, so my point is there are times where kids don't just decommit, where there are offers pulled. And I don't know if that's the case here, but LSU's fine in that spot at linebacker. Obviously, like, they've fortified that position with like a top 50 player nationally. So be it his own choosing or the coach is saying, hey, why don't you go look for a new spot, it's not a bad thing. And now LSU can use that spot to supplement their roster with somewhere maybe that they have either a better player or a bigger need that they can do. So it's not necessarily a terrible thing to lose that commit. So Nathan Roy said, I'm just here for morning, Drew. I don't blame you. If nothing else, like when I'm on the radio, I always, like, one of the number one rules in radio in talk radio is never lose control. Like, that's, like, passion drives the medium, never lose control. I mean, you always have to be piloting the ship, and you can never let someone else steer the ship. I mean, when you're in the host chair, never lose control. And it's odd, I'm sure, if you listen to the show, to see Drew come in here, because when he comes in here, it's just complete role reversal. Anyway, Mark, when will Coach O announce a QB starter? My guess is when they run out for the first series against Miami. Maybe he'll announce a starter before then, but I don't think that I don't think it does any good to name one to give Miami any insight into who that will be. And sorry, I'm scrolling back. But I think you'll know who it won't be, because my guess is after the first week of camp, they sort of funnel down the reps, because you cannot distribute starter reps among 4 different players in fall camp and achieve what you're trying to achieve, which is get a starter name, get them comfortable with the backs, the receivers, the line, the cadence, and then start preparing for Miami. You can't do it distributing reps evenly among 4 guys. You can't. So they've ultimately got to narrow that down, probably to Burrow and Brennan, and let them compete maybe in the second or third week of camp. And then after that, my guess is they'll pick their starter the week of the game and have that person getting first team reps, the majority of first team reps, even if they don't announce it. That's that's basically what happened last year when Lindsey Scott left. After the first few days, first week of camp, he recognized what was happening with the reps and he bolted. And that's my guess is probably what happens this year. That's very kind. Cody said Matt is the best at solo radio. Well, thank you, Cody. I appreciate that very much. I also happen to be the only solo radio guy in Baton Rouge, so kind of by default, I suppose. But thank you. Tony, Mark, good morning. Mark, can Croatia upset England today in the World Cup? Let's go with sure. Jesse, Noah Kane, John Emery, percent LSU gets both. You're asking the wrong guy, Jesse. I don't know what these what the recruits are thinking. I don't know what their priorities are. I've never met or talked to either of them. What I do know is LSU has got to have an elite running back in this class, and Emery seems to be the highest rated one. You got to get him. I can all day long listen to people talk about the guys they signed in this class that are coming in as freshmen, with Chris Curry. And then the other guy who was on campus for spring practice, I've heard his name pronounced, if it's Tay Provins or Provins or Provins, I don't know, but him, I can listen to all that, but the fact of the matter is, you understand who are top 5 national guys and who's not. Now maybe those guys surprise us and become really great backs. We'll see. But I'm talking about when Leonard Fournette didn't really make an impact until October of his freshman year. When you see a guy like Najee Harris from Alabama last year, was the number 1 prospect in the country, not really make a dent. To think that one of the non-elite guys is going to step in game 1 as a true freshman and be a dude in the SEC, I just don't think it's realistic. So, but they've got to start that process this year with getting elite running backs at least one in this class. Kathy Hernandez, good morning. Scott, good morning. Just tuning in, good morning. That's all right, Scott. We're just getting rolling, so appreciate you for being there. And then Mark said, will Anthony Davis stay with the Pelicans long term? No. 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 I think it's a Chris Paul situation. They'll do a sign and trade at the end of his deal. He'll go somewhere where he can win. Not dogging him, the Pelicans, the organization, the city. That's just what history shows us. Guys leave. Now, to do so, he'd have to pass on about $230 million. But if you want me to call my shot 2 years in advance, I think he leaves. All right. By the way, also, yesterday, Ed Orgeron was on After Further Review while your boy was absent. Second time that's happened. It's purely coincidental that I'm on vacation and twice Ed goes on AFR. Total coincidence. Oh no! I think his show ended. Did your show end? Do you need more Mickey Mouse? Okay, let's go see. Hold on, y'all. Come with me. Come with. All right. His show ended. And boy, by the way, Drew's birthday party's coming up. It's like I don't know if you can see this. It's like a jungle theme. Oh, look, yeah, show ended. Erica is like the birthday planner extraordinaire. Oh, there it is. Looking for the remote, sorry. Okay, bud, let's get some more Mickey Mouse. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, Mickey Mouse Clubhouse for the win. All right. Now y'all know how my days go. Charles, good morning. Bob Poole, good morning. Good to see everybody here. All right, let's see. Focus this shot again. Plug in the mic. How's that look? How's that look, everybody? Good? 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 All right. All right, back at it. So, Ed talked about a few things. He did talk about, go listen, if you missed the interview yesterday on AFR with Ed, go back and listen. You can listen at 1045ESPN.com. Go to our app, hit AFR On Demand. It's there. Gordy hosted yesterday and actually did a really good job just filling the show with guests. He had a lot of really good guests, some good content yesterday. And it's always good whenever you can talk to the head coach of the LSU football team. He talked about his relationship with Steve Ensminger, which is something he's talked a lot about, and most notably that he trusts Steve Ensminger, implicitly, which is something that didn't exist last year. It's obviously a contrast where he admitted to meddling in Matt Canada's offense, and it appears as though that's not the case this year, which to me is a net positive. If you can get the head coach to delegate and let their coordinators do their job, I mean, I think that's true in any business. I can only use my experience, but I don't have my bosses coming down the hall every day or every week telling me, hey, talk about this. As a matter of fact, in the 8 years that I've been at Guarantee hosting AFR, I'd really have to think long and hard any time they've said, hey, I need you to talk about this on the show. If ever. It's... They just say, go do your show, do well, you do a good job, and the results are what they are. And I think that should be true anywhere, for successful leadership. So that's good to see, and we'll see if it works. If there's something that concerns me, if you want to use that term, it's when you consistently hear the coaches asking for patience within the offense and with the quarterbacks and all, because I just don't think this is a patient fan base. I know it's not a patient fan base. But we'll see. Robbie, good morning. George Mueller or Muller? Good morning. You're SpongeBob people. See, he's not into SpongeBob. He's got his 3 or 4 that he watches. He watches Mickey Mouse. He watches Big Block Sing Song. He'll watch Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. He'll watch this Choo Choo Soul thing on Disney as well. Stephen Bro says we have 107 Mickey episodes on DVR. We're there too, man. We're right with you. But see, he only wants 4 or 5. Big Block. Wow. What, you doing no more monkeys?
Papa.
Big Block. What now, baby? Laurel? Well, you're not going to see Laurel today. Hey, is Mickey on the TV? You went to go watch Mickey on the TV? So Daddy can finish his show?
I did.
D? What do we want, baby? Come see Daddy.
I did.
Dad?
I did.
I don't know what you're trying to say, sweetheart. Can you say words that Daddy knows? What? Why? Hey, I have a question for you. Do you want to go watch Mickey Mouse? And then Daddy will take you to Abilities, yes, and you'll see BB and Jill. Yeah. What do you see? Okay, Daddy's gonna finish his show. Okay, Daddy's gonna finish his show, and you go watch Mickey, and then we'll go to Abilities. Okay? And take a ride in the car. Okay? There's everyone just comes. There's a lot of people that come here just to see you. Well, okay. Hey, look, there's Daddy and Drew. Look, there's Daddy and Drew.
Sure.
Oh, see, Cody, Sophia the First, Elena Babel. See, you have girls too. Troy, yeah. See, for a while, when he was a little bit, he liked Jake and the Neverland Tigers, Jake and the Neverland Pirates. Jake and the Neverland Pirates, that was it. He liked that one as a little boy. As a little boy. Here we go. Matt, I like this one. What does Bregman's team and financial future look like? Houston long term. They move Correa for major pieces. Bregman to short. Does he get a monster contract? Okay, so the most obvious answer is Alex Bregman is going to get a super monster contract. He'll get whenever his rookie deal's up, and it'll go through arbitration, I'm sure, and also, he's going to get a 9-figure deal. Like, he's an all-star infielder that's, I don't know if you saw last night, he hit two yaks last night. He's up to 19. I think he's leading the team in homers. And the other thing is Correa's on the DL. Marwin Gonzalez got hurt yesterday. So Bregman, my guess is Bregman's going to play short for a few games again. The fact that he can play short or third, average hit with power the way he's going right now, he's gonna, when he hits free agency, he's going to have a lot of suitors. I mean, he's going to be one of those guys that if he wants to go play somewhere in particular, anybody would want to have it. Now, he grew up a Jeter fan, so could New York be a possibility? Maybe. They seem set on the infield. I'm just thinking selfishly. With Didi and Andujar on the left side, I don't think that would be a possibility. He really likes Houston. He loves his teammates. They got a really good thing going. I don't know why he would leave. I think it's just a matter of, can Houston keep that core together? Houston's going to have to pay Correa. They're going to have to pay Altuve, obviously. They're going to have to pay Springer and Bregman. I mean, look at that Yuli, Gurriel. I mean, they're going to have to, when you just look at their pitching staff, they still got Verlander hanging on. They're going to have to decide, and they really need to spend money in their bullpen too. Like Ken Giles is such a Jekyll and Hyde type closer. I really think it's just a matter of can they pony up the cash to pay him, to pay them all, and you pick. But I mean, maybe I'm completely biased, but man, maybe I'm completely biased, but I wouldn't understand not making a 23-year-old power-hitting infielder who can play multiple positions and is a good clubhouse guy and great work ethic guy like your top priority. So if the Astros don't make Bregman like their top priority, somebody else will. So he's gonna get a monster contract. Charlie said the Cardinals. Admittedly, Charlie, I just don't watch a ton of NL baseball. I watch the Yankees every night on MLB TV on my app. So I see a ton of American League baseball. I just don't watch a lot of NL baseball. So I try to watch Aaron Nola when I can, when he's pitching. I don't have a team in the NL that I feel like I just have to watch. So I couldn't tell you much about the Cardinals roster, what they have, or if that makes sense. But I'll take your word for it. Brandon Durr, good morning, man. Hope you're doing well. Paul Hood, let's see, they already paid Altuve. Correa's next step. Pretty sure they kick Springer down the road next 3 years. Stroh's going to have to make choice between Bregman and Correa. And if that's the case, they probably pay Correa. Or they can just pony up and pay them both, which if you're trying to keep the core of a World Series team together, you do it, So I couldn't understand not paying them when you're going this good, and you're competing for championships every year. But then again, I don't know the inner workings of that franchise. Jeff Luhnow's done an awesome job building that roster, and man, I wouldn't be able to understand not trying to keep it together. Anyway, all right, one more thing. I'll get some more of your questions to wrap here in a second. Team USA, collegiate national team, they win last night 5-1 over Cuba. Cabrera had a couple of hits. Paul Maneri said afterwards it was their most complete game of the summer so far, which was really cool to see. So good on those guys for having some really difficult travel due to rain delays and whatnot. They were in Atlanta. They had to jet down to Cuba and play that day. So good on them on going over to Cuba, getting a win last night. 5-1 over the Cuban national team. Let's see, anything else we'll get to? Chuck, thanks for joining us here. I'll remind y'all again, if you just jump aboard, if you would hit the share button, that's very, very helpful. Boudreaux's Bloody Mary Mix, Margarita Mix, you can find it in the greater Baton Rouge area. Alexander's, Calandro's, Calvin's, Mid-City Wine and Craft, at Canada's in Homa. If where you shop they don't carry it, please demand that they do. And thanks to everyone. And do me a favor. Several of you who watch, who have gone and bought it and tried it, have tweeted me or left reviews here of the product. Shoot me just messages, maybe like a picture that of that you bought it or that you used it, and whether you like it or not. Those things just tend to be really, really powerful to have those types of testimonials. So let me know if you like it. As I mentioned before, I've tried the Margarita Mix. I'm not a Bloody Mary guy, so I couldn't tell you about this, but the people that have tried it, they've told me they loved it. The cool thing about it is you don't have to go empty out your whole pantry. You just pour that in, add your vodka, stir it, and you're ready to roll. So, hey, look, my dad's joining just as I'm about to get out of here. So, hey, Trivia, I'm sorry. I didn't even see you on there. Hold on, Drew's, well, all right, Charles, I'm going to answer your question. Hang on one second. I need to go stop Drew from beeping. Hold on. Hey, come see Daddy. Come see. All done. All done. Okay, all done. Okay, sorry. He's got a feeding tube, and so it's a pump like feeds him through his tube, and it's on a time deal. So that beeping was his thing saying I'm done. So Charles, all right, last thing I'll answer, then we'll bounce. Let y'all get about your day. Charles says if you had to pick had to pick who you think LSU sends to media days. Who I think they send, who I'd hope they'd send, are probably very different. Who I think they'll send Devin White. I think they'll send Foster Moreau. The third one's interesting. Probably Rashard Lawrence. He's the best leader on the team. He's a great player, defensive lineman, obviously. And the leadership thing. Like if you ask the players or coaches, they'll all tell you that Rashard Lawrence is the leader of the team. That's my guess. Morrow, Lawrence. Excuse me, Morrow, Lawrence, and Devin White. So, like last year, when I was asked, I would have said send Danny Etling, Darius Geis, and Arden Key. And I was told, but I know, and I told someone on staff, I was like, that would be my choice, but I know that's not realistic. And like, you're right, it's not realistic. But to that end, why have the event? Like, I would strongly endorse. And Steven said thought they were only taking 2. I thought they'd change that too, but it's 3. I saw LSU tweet about it. I would strongly endorse every school being required to take their quarterback. Being at that event enough times, there are too many times where Kentucky brings an offensive lineman and the kid sits in a corner for 30 minutes and nobody talks to him. Missouri brings a safety that nobody's heard of and nobody talks to him. I can understand some coaches wanting to avoid controversy and so bringing safe players, but that doesn't do anything for the event, for the appeal of the event. And what gets attention is star power. There was the year where Johnny Manziel was there and AJ McCarron was there and Aaron Murray was there, like Zach Mettenberger from LSU went, Connor Shaw was there from South Carolina, like up and down. Jadeveon Clowney was there, like up and down. It was just star player, star player, star player, star player. And last year there wasn't that. It was void of star talent. Geis was the guy. Geis was the show last year. He wore sort of like a salmon jacket, and like he was the star of media days. I would be in favor of either the league mandating that every school bring their quarterback, or let the SEC choose which players go. Now, I don't think that's going to happen because the coaches would have a fit about it. But, if it were me this year, I'd want Joe Burrow. Of course. Why wouldn't you? I'd want Joe Burrow, probably Rashard Lawrence, and Devin White. Those would be my three. You could make a case for Greedy Williams as well. But give me those three. Give me the biggest names, the biggest stars. And you could make a case for Devin White and Greedy instead of Rashard Lawrence, but I'd be just as pleased talking to Rashard. But my guess is that they're going to bring Foster, Moreau. I'm just trying to think if there could be anybody else. No, but that's my guess. Is that who LSU's going to bring? Like, if you made me guess today, it's Foster, Rashard, and Devin White. Let's see, trivia. You're going to live stream media days. We are going to be there, and we will be televised. This is exciting. So since we moved into our new studio, the new TV studio, we've not done a show on remote yet because it's a massive, massive undertaking to take a show on the road for television. And for the broadcast, obviously I could do it on a phone like this and stream it, but for the broadcast quality that we want, and obviously that CST demands, it's a massive undertaking. So we've been planning this for months, like literally since the start of the year, 6-7 months. We've been planning media days on the road for TV for AFR. So I'm really excited, man. We've got a lot of people that have worked hard to get the equipment in place, the procedures in place. I think we're going to have green screen behind us for different logos. Like, it's going to be sharp, and I'm hoping that it goes off without a hitch and that everyone really enjoys it, because it could open the door to doing more things like this at events, which would be so fun. So anyway, so to answer your question, trivia, however you watch AFR or listen to AFR on a normal day, you will be able to consume us the same way at SEC Football Media Days, yes, and we're very, very excited about it. Jared, thanks for tuning us in. Tim, good morning. Brady, good morning as well. All right, that's going to do it for us, y'all. I'm going to get out of here. Y'all enjoy your day. Check out Boudreaux's. Please share this video if you don't mind hitting the share button, all the likes and the comments and all that stuff. That helps a bunch. So thank you very much for that, as always, and we'll see you tomorrow on Morning Scone.